Of course, I'm trying to find my own live stream. Is it working? I'm going to assume everything is fine. I was just trying to see it for myself. But hey, and happy, what, this is the first full week of December. The year is almost out. Hi, how are you? Hey, Sandy. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. But I've been talking about the show all day. Like I was earlier, I went live because I like to play my video game on live now. And I was chilling, but the entire time I like was scrolling Twitter, looking at everyone talk about the show this week, especially with how it ended between Christina and Molly. So I've just been like thinking about that a lot. Hey, Beauty for Ashes, Tawana, Alicia, fight scene videos. It's great to be seen. Thank you for joining me. So, of course, the big stories for me this week were Lulu and then Christina versus Ava. So, but there's still so much more show to talk about. Uh, what should we start with? Because I think all day I've been talking about the whole Christina Ava thing, and I wouldn't mind a break from talking about Christina, but that's really been like what I've been like talking about from all of this week. That and the fact that Carly talked Drew out of moving out of the Quartermains. I mean, we was all saying on Twitter, as long as he leaves Scout, you can leave. Just leave Scout. But even then, hey Beverly. So I I guess where I will start is I think that the actress Christina has worked my last nerve. Yes. What Christina said to Molly, I'm done with it until Christina take responsibility. Hey Janelle. Ooh, Christina has pushed a lot of buttons lately. Many people, and I wanted to ask, and please put it in the comments, is it, people are saying it's the actress, and then other people are saying it's both. For me, I I don't hate Kate Mansi. I'm just wondering if it's more so the direction of Christina versus the particular actress. However, we can't ignore the fact that Christina is seemingly different with her portrayer now than she was with Lexi Ainsworth. To be fair, when you think about Christina's life and history overall and how Sunny and Alexis has co-parented her and then who they are, I believe Christina is right in line with where she should be. And I only mean that to say Alexis is, for a living, she defends people from taking accountability when it comes to the truth. And that's how she and Sunny connected. And Sunny is himself. He's, he gets soft when you talk about Stone, or when you talk about how he was beaten by Deke and he had to watch his mother go through that. However, he's still manipulative and abusive towards women, even with Ava. And Ava, she's a mess. However, she's the mother of his daughter, and still, even at this age, he weaponizes a young woman against another woman. So, bottom line is, Sonny is successful because he avoids accountability when it comes to the truth. The most recent example of that is him completely getting off free when it came to the murder of John Cates. So when you're being raised by two parents who make their living by not taking accountability, and then they sow it into their child, this is the result of that. So to me, it seems like her behavior is in line with how they've raised her. Sonny sees himself in Christina. Yeah, hi Sabrina. I made a lot. Yes, I'm glad you made it. I would rather have OG Christina. It's both. I can't stand Christine anymore. She's so insufferable. It's the actress and the character. Okay. A lot of people were saying that. I like Kate Mansi, although her performance, and again, I don't know if this is the way it was written, because Christina really is in line with being selfish and self-centered because of how she's been raised. And when you look back at her history, whenever some type of trouble arises, both of her parents go into, who do I bully to protect my daughter and cover her up. The biggest example was the whole college thing that Alexis and Sonny did by getting her into Yale. So she hasn't had to really, um, when anyone makes a decision, it's really having to go through the effect of your causes that helps you to develop. And they Alexis and Sonny kept removing those opportunities for growth with Christina. And we saw that plain and clear with Kiefer and how that situation played out, because it was such a delicate situation with her being abused. She was truly a victim. Maybe, but if they would have taught her a more empowering lesson, especially about uh, telling it when it happens, don't stay silent, name your accuser, because I still believe that she should have been held accountable for uh, giving a false statement that Ethan was the one who did it. That wasn't right of her. And of course, they babied her through that moment, and she should have been reprimanded for that. What Kiefer's wrong don't make her right, but she was a victim, so it was such a delicate situation. I felt that like Alexis should told Christina she's wrong, what she said to Molly, but it shows her favor for Christina. John Kate, now that's a name that's not been heard of on Canvas in a while. Yeah, it's completely buried. Sonny and Alexis are so dismissive of TJ. Ooh, there are a lot of people who are dismissive of TJ, even Molly to an extent, but we'll get to that because, and we can get to that now. Sonny really does that with kids. He gets on them and switches up the moment they're upset. Yeah, Sonny does. But Christina is like that too. I think maybe they've all been like that with Sonny. They have their moments where they just want to cast him aside and they're done with him. But Christina has been a mixed bag this year and inconsistent. And I don't like. But is that her character? Is Christina an inconsistent? She's inconsistent. So it matches with who she is, because they did this rewrite, which they do all the time, and it's but they made it seem as though she didn't know that Sonny was violent and dangerous, and she's sitting there having a shouting contest against Jocelyn. Then she sees what he's done to Dex. She freaks out, but the moment Sonny's violence suits her agenda, she's right back on his train again. The thing is that I was wondering, Christina has already shown that she will crush her sister for her own gain. And I was like, I wonder what members of her family would she not do that to? And Alexis, I was like, she was willing to like tell the truth about that so her mother wouldn't have to go to jail. But with Sonny, it's like she can be hot and cold with him too, but their bond is otherworldly. So that wasn't going to last long. But that was really weird for her to act like she was just now seeing this, because she's already had that phase when she was a teenager. That was unnecessary. Christina knows who Sonny is. It was unnecessary. Does she forget who her father is? She don't like violence, but goes to him knowing he don't play about his kids, right? And then, hey, yeah, thanks, Beverly. We know the show, don't we? Yes, Alexis is licensed to practice law currently. She sure is. I hated that she did to Ethan when she told everyone he beat her. Yeah, because Sonny held a gun on Ethan. It caused a divide between Sonny and Luke, who have been friends since before Christina was born. And then also, Sam was about to beat him up, and then Jason had to come through, and then that was a misunderstanding. So she probably apologized to him, but I would have to go back and look at it because I actually don't remember those scenes. Hopefully she apologized. Hey Cassandra, how are you doing? Christina's just low down and dirty. She needs help. So anyway, I think this is in line with Christina, and especially from the different personalities between Molly and Christina growing up. We all know that to me, Molly was brilliant, so compassionate, romantic, you know, a woman of literature. And, her and Christina are contrast so much. And I think it's because Molly has that Lansing blood in her. They a mess on their own, but Rick's side of things seems more grounded. If Rick does come after you, it's not in the same way of a Sonny come after you. Though he has been despicable, his worst moment was the panic room. I don't care what nobody say. Him holding Carly hostage, carrying his nephew, trying to give it to his wife. That was disgusting. But moving on, Molly is so much more grounded, and it has benefited her greatly, just like it benefited Sam greatly not to have been raised by Alexis, but to have gone through what she went through to be that incredible woman that she was. So Molly, move out of Alexis's house. What the heck are you thinking? Moving in with the woman who doesn't support you. I don't care what I love my girls. She's not able to support both Christina and Molly. She can't support Molly because she can't tell Christina the truth. She won't stop. She get out your mama's house. Get away from her. Get out of there. Christina gonna be bursting in. You think you having your moment with your mom and stuff like that. Even the moments that Alexis is like, oh, I support you. No, you don't, because you're lying. You didn't even. If you really supported Molly, you would have went to her and said, you need to talk to your sister because she's planning something with that. I don't care. If my daughters is doing something like that between the two of them, I'm not choosing one over the other. I'm choosing what's right over what's wrong. And I'm going to lead my kids on what's right. And I would have been like, look, either you gonna tell your sister or I will, because this is effed up. Straight up. And Alexis couldn't do that. And she never has been able to do that. So Molly, you need to get out that woman's house. Get out that woman's house. I can't believe Molly is Rick's daughter. That yeah, I do. She's boring. I don't think she has to be. I think she needs to get away from this. She needs to get away from this. Molly don't have no friends. Who are Molly's friends? She don't got no friends. All she has is TJ and the Davis girls. Where are her friends at? I think this is a great opportunity to see if they can, sink or swim in other arenas. If Molly and TJ can't make it apart from each other, then they can go back in the character closet. But Molly ain't got no friends who just are who can give her a fresh perspective, give her real, true, and solid support. She needs that. I say she should move in with Sasha. Sasha needs a roommate and to get up out the Quartermains. And since Michael's going to disappear and she's pregnant, let Molly have Sasha for a roommate. It's completely different. It's new, something we wouldn't have expected. But Molly definitely needs friendships like Maxie and Lulu, or, Sam and Lulu. There are other female friendships, Ava and Nina. But Molly needs some comrades. She needs some friendships. She really does. She doesn't get to relax. She's always running to the daggone DA's office, the courthouse. And then unfortunately, in this particular story, now that they decided to bring her and TJ from out the shadows, she's been in the middle of the two of them trying to diffuse these two personalities. Because, TJ sitting there, I don't know whose idea was to have a baby. I really feel like Molly was doing it for TJ. But I'd have to go back to be sure. I think what happened was Molly thought there was a chance she was pregnant. She took the test and found out that she wasn't, and found herself to be disappointed. And then she shared it with TJ, and then I guess the idea of a baby, and they ran with it from there. And then it became an obsession after she learned, oh, I can't have my own children. So I think that's where that started. I don't want to blame TJ and like he pushed her into it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I just then she got stuck between the two of them. He barking about Christina, though he was correct in the end that she couldn't be trusted, but he was just burdensome. And then Molly had to process TJ's feelings and then her feelings as well. I don't feel like he did a great job of taking care of Molly, who was probably having the same fears as he, but knowing Christina, she had to deliver the messages between the two of them without causing a landmine to explode when, because this is Christina we're talking about. She doesn't handle uh, bad news well at all, clearly. Let me see. Hey, hold on. I don't want to miss. Hold on. Okay. 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 Christina is okay. She knew Sonny would kill Kiefer. Beverly, you are right. So thank you for reminding me. Christina lied because she was afraid that Sonny was going to kill Kiefer, and she was afraid of that. That's legit. She didn't have to give a name, but I think she probably felt pressured and she was young. So we'll give her that. But I think that it still should have, and maybe it was, I don't know, but it still should have been stressed. You don't lie on an innocent man. Like, don't do that. Not even to save the life of someone who's hurting you. Don't, but she was young then, and it was just a terrible situation. Hold on. Okay. Christina telling Molly that she wouldn't understand because she wasn't Adela's mother was a dig move, and I don't think I'll ever like Christina again after that. Fight scene videos. What was interesting about that part was that I think the most disappointing moment for me was when Molly apologized to Christina for what she said to her at the gravesite. You have nothing to apologize for. I was really hoping she would stand her ground. She told the truth. And Christina couldn't even take it on the chin and stand in and accept it. To accept it. Instead, she just buckled down underneath the weight of it all just to be consoled by her sister and mother. And Molly's just like, I can't even have this moment and have you acknowledge my feelings in all of this. It was just interesting. Like, for her to do that, Molly didn't have to apologize. She has nothing to apologize for with what she said. She was spot on, and I was like, dang, you apologizing just for 5 minutes later? Not even 5 minutes later, this viper comes out her mouth saying that. And the irony is, Christina pressured, pretty much pushed Molly into agreeing to this plan to help her become a mom. And then she's going to throw it in her face. And I hope Molly heard it loud and clear. This was pretty much a complete confession that had the child even lived, I was never going to allow you to raise her as her mother. I hope you hear that loud and clear, Molly. It was already clear with the paperwork and stuff, but it was never more clear than then. She never considered you that child's mother. And we all knew that, because even before Christina got confirmation that she was pregnant, she was already talking to the fetus. She had no intentions. Okay. Which parents are worse, Sonny and Alexis or Nicholas? Sonny and Alexis. Sonny and Alexis. So, Sonny and Alexis. I don't even know why that was quick for me to say that. I guess maybe I'm not actively having issues with Nicholas. Okay, I can't believe Molly is Rick's daughter. That man be wildin'. Molly's a bore. Has anyone checked on Avery? Sonny seem act like he has one daughter. Ava brought up a great point. What does Sonny tell Avery when she asks for her mother? We brought this up over the summer when that weirdness was going on between Sonny and Ava. Uh, she's old enough to be asked by a court guardian and the judge what she wants. And I'm sure she wants her mom, especially since she was living with both of her parents this year, and then that suddenly changed. And now it seems, and from what I've heard, Sonny has not allowed Ava to see Avery at all. So he pretty much told her, "You can go find another place to stay, and while you do that, she could stay here. You ain't gonna see her." So what does he tell his daughter? Uh, I hope, that I just don't want to see another kid be all team Sunny. I don't. I want to see one kid that is able to stand firm and deny him his self gratification. Dante couldn't do it, and he wasn't even raised by Sonny. That man shot him point blank in his living room. Didn't even know who he was. He was a good cop. And I mean, John Cates was crooked, but he did the same thing. That should have been evidence for them to pursue Sonny even more so as a suspect in John Cates's murder because of what he did to Dante. Even though Dante lied, but it's still close enough. But even Dante couldn't stand on business when it came to Sonny and lied for him and helped him to stay free. And he committed that crime. Oh, good Lord. Let me move on. Jesus. Okay. But it would serve him right if Avery uh, didn't really fuck with him like that. It really would. I wonder what he tells her, but we will never know because she's in the character closet. We don't even get like honorable. We don't even get to see her throughout this story to know the child's perspective. They need to stop doing that. Like we need to see Avery. What is Avery doing? Are we gonna Are y'all gonna recast her to be a little bit older? Like what's going on? Avery needs perspective in this story. She's old enough to give that. I really want to know. Let's see. Christina was a teenager when she saw her father go off on Claudia. Yeah, she broke down even then. Christina couldn't even handle that. She was always a crybaby, wasn't she? I hope Molly and TJ fixed it. I hope that the first surrogate really didn't lose the baby and they bring that back as a storyline. I need Molly and TJ to have a miracle baby. Alexis and Sonny encourage Christina's delusions. They do, and Sonny is worse at it because of his violence. Alexis isn't violent. No, so let me. I'm sorry. I just told the biggest lie on the street. Never mind. Both of them is violent. Let me stop. But Sonny was pretty much ensuring her that he was going to try to murder his younger daughter's mom. Uh, you're so right. Both her and Sonny heard what she said to Molly, but who did Alexis call out to? Molly. Yeah, why did she do that? Somebody else pointed that out on Twitter. What was she getting ready to say to Molly? What do you think had Molly not stopped Alexis? What was Alexis going to say out her mouth? She was going to protect Christina again, wasn't she? She should have been like, Christina. Like, look, I would have been like, what is Christina's name? I would have been in Christina Adela Davis Corinthos. I would have said every single name in her, every single syllable. I would get like, I know she wasn't about to, girl. Molly has never had friends. Yeah, it was only TJ. She needs a different an extended family. She needs friends. She needs development. Her and TJ need further development. They really do, because we only know them as Molly and TJ. Let me get back. I don't want to miss too much. I'm sorry. It's not like Molly don't make enough to afford a place. You're right, Cassandra. I don't know why she needs to move out of Alexis's place. If you don't want to live alone, get a roommate. You know, get yourself a roommate, but don't stay at Alexis's house because unless she tells Christina the truth and stands on what's right between both of her daughters instead of pandering to one of them, then Molly needs to get out of that situation. She'd be better off living with Rick. He hasn't been around, but he's the best one because he's not emotionally invested in the Davis Corinthos side, and he can firmly be there for his daughter. He By him helping Ava, he has done Molly the greatest service because his whole objective was to bring closure and to pretty much bring out the truth and to help Molly. And Molly told Christina point blank, like, this was an accident. Neither one of you intended for this to happen. And I'm not going to hang on to this. It's too much pain. So Rick, she should move in with Rick if you want to move in with anybody. Let me see. Oh, is he jumping? Let me see. Sorry. 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 Ooh. Okay. Sorry, it jumped ahead of me before I can. It's not like Molly don't. Yeah, and then she was a nerd bullied because she was a genius. Molly said that for Monday's episodes that she wasn't going to be able to stay there because it wasn't going to be able to support both of them. Oh, so that was in the previews. I'm gonna have to check that out. Sabrina, whose parents are worse, Christina's or Spencer's? I think Christina's. I agree with you, Sabrina. I would not stay with mom after either because mom is not there for both. Wanting this baby was out of character from Molly from the beginning. I've never liked it. I want to go back a step further. Do you think that Molly wanting to do a domestic partnership was out of character because of how much she talked against marriage, even a partnership? She shouldn't have done it? Or do you think that, what's your opinion on that? Let me see. I think it was for TJ, if I'm not mistaken. Molly wanted to have a kid for TJ. She's been inconsistent around kids. This Molly wouldn't be a good mom. Christina was right about her and TJ's relationship. Oh, and I wanted to ask that. So duality, when you say that she was right about the relationship, what do you mean by that? That like they were going to break up? Because I still don't see that as a reason. I don't even see that as her being right because it was a debate and I'll leave it up to you all, of course, in your opinions. But I think it is reasonable to assume that eventually they were going to grow apart. They've been each other's everything for more than 10 years. And then it's clear that, I guess the inconsistency, like you said, around kids. And now we see that TJ really wants to expand his family where Molly doesn't want that and other issues. I just feel like Christina's involvement in that aspect of the story is what exasperated the separation or made it to the point where it actually took place. I think Christina's involvement caused the strain that broke the relationship. And that's the only reason why Christina is right. Because had she not bullied her way into being their surrogate, I think they would have been fine or had a better chance. And I don't know, because we'll never know. We'll never know. But I do know that Molly, it created an even greater strain between those two. It really did. And eventually the relationship was going to end because of this. They were always going to end up in court over the child. It was always going to come down to some kind of court battle. I just didn't think the child was going to be deceased. Hey Judy. It was stressed. Why is ABC so out of budget? Molly isn't a mom. Trina always receives such useless love interest. Oh, you don't like Kai? As usual, everything between Molly and Christina is so slanted in Christina's favor. Realistically, who's going to just give away their biological child? That's why you can't see your own egg as a surrogate. In all fairness, Callie Nola, there are some people who are able to be selfless like that. Christina has never been that thoughtful and selfless in other situations, which is what made her a bad candidate for surrogacy. Because it's not like this was Molly's egg. If it was Molly's egg, then at least Molly would have had a leg to stand on to be like, well, definitely when the child is born, or, at least we could do DNA tests and we could prove that I'm I should be the legal parent. I have never seen that kind of scenario play out in court. I'm sure it has, where like, it's somebody else's egg, somebody else's sperm, they have a surrogate, and then the surrogate's like, no, I'm the one who child, so it's mine. That was probably an interesting case, but I'm sure it's happened before. Don't know. But it's just Christina was a bad candidate. She's never been that selfless. But there are people, like, for instance, I've heard stories like where grandparents raise their grandchildren as their sons and daughters, and they grow up the whole time not realizing that their sister is really their biological mom. I think that happened with Jack Nicholson, the actor. So it's not like Christina was never going to see that child. She, and I think the thing that we have to remember here is that it's not wrong that Christina developed a love and a desire to be a mother to the baby she was carrying. That's her right. It's just the way she went about it and how she's underhanded behind her sister's back, plotting not only her sister but the child's biological father. When she told them, she gave them her word, she convinced them, she misled them. That's the part. And then also, to drive it home, she was never conflicted over how this was going to cause her to lose her relationship with her sister. She didn't even care about putting her mother between her and Molly, because Christina already knew Alexis wasn't going to stand on business against her and tell her you're wrong. So that's like, the reason I'm done with Christina as a character is because she's a thoughtless character. Very thoughtless. She's so consumed about her and what this meant for her, even lying to Natalia, who lied for her. I'm glad it backfired on her, because that was so stupid. Such a plug to make Natalia relevant. But like, she's so thoughtless, even telling Natalia that she and Blaze was going to raise the baby together. First of all, Blaze says she wasn't ready for that. And then two, it's like Natalia didn't even stop to say, well, what about the child's father? How are y'all gonna work that out with TJ? No one's ever even said that to her. Like, how is TJ gonna fit as a parent into Adela's life? So it's just her thoughtlessness. And really, Molly's feelings never mattered in any of this. Christina wanted to do this for her. It's just, that's the weirdest part. She never like wrestled with, oh my God, I want this baby, but my sister wants to be a mom, like my sister. And then also, you have to think about Molly's kind of attitude. She just seems so busy and so uninvolved, kind of, with the intimacy of the baby coming. Let me get back to the comments. Christina thought Ethan would be protected, untouchable, because he was Luke's son. That's a good point. That is revisionist history. Yeah, I thought that was horrible. Christina said that to her. Why do everyone think Christina can't handle anything wrong in her life? I think Christina needs to grow up. I think she could handle it if they stopped, jumping in every single time and just be like, girl, you got to learn how to sink or swim. Sink or swim. Of course, we don't want to see our kids fail, but we also, as parents or guardians, have to see the wisdom in getting your knee scraped, getting your arm broken. I bet you won't do that again. Let's see. Hey, Aaron. She guilted Molly at not making her the surrogate. Christina won't even acknowledge TJ as the father. Yeah, that part. Alexis do have a favorite child, and it's Christina. Blaze mother lied on the witness stand for Christina. Did she do that because the I felt like that was such pandering to try to save a character that nobody likes. I've just seen overwhelmingly that people do not like Natalia. I don't really see the point of her other than to prop Sunny and Christina. They got rid of Blaze. Blaze can stay on, but she should have took her mother with her. Why she lied? Why would you lie for her, Natalia? Other than, first of all, for you to lie to her makes me not respect you. I don't respect you for lying for her because she didn't deserve that at all. And then two, it just seems to me like you're trying to kiss her butt, and I don't know why, because she's not even dating your daughter, so she's not an in-law. You have no ties to this woman to be sitting there protecting her or lying for her. I hope your butt get caught up in perjury. Good enough for you. So I that was yes, Christina did pressure Molly, and that is when the problems between Molly and TJ started. There was no way Christina was ever going to just give her child away if she was able to care for her, which is why they shouldn't have done this. Callie Nola, you're right. You're absolutely right. And she's just the wrong candidate. The wrong candidate. There are people who really can like do that, and even under extenuating circumstances, like we've seen people be able to do that, but Christina is just the wrong candidate for that. Just and again, she had every right to change her mind because that child biologically was hers, but she should have been upfront about it and confronted it. And I think we all would have respected Christina a lot more. She just should have. I mean, because really, what were they gonna really? You didn't have to, like, she was doing it anyway. I just would have been upfront about it. But again, she didn't even care about, like, dang, how can I, like, at the end of the day, still have a relationship with my sister, even though I want to keep my baby. How am I going to work this out and co-parent with TJ? Does TJ want to co-parent with me? Can we work it out to where we can have some type of custody? It was never about making it work together. It was just about her. And I think that was selfish to the child because the child deserves their father. It was just like Alexis was with Sunny. It's just, I don't like that part of it. Carly raised Avery. That stopped spinning things for Avery. And why did Carly raise a lot of Avery? Had to do with the fact that Sunny was was sitting there blocking Ava. Ava only gained the upper hand. I can't remember when Nicholas came into the picture. Nicholas helped to level the playing field, much like Rick is helping to level the playing field for her now, because it looked real good to see Ava have somebody intellectually smart and competent at what they do and know the two snakes he's dealing with stand beside Ava on what's right, or what's common sense anyway. Because Ava's been bullied around when it comes to Avery since the moment she was born, and she deserves it because she only got pregnant with Avery to cover up a crime she committed and not die for it. It's the only reason why she's still alive. Avery is the only reason why Ava is still alive. Nicholas abandoned his child with his irresponsible mother to go to jail for a crime no one cared about. I still say Nicholas is the better parent. That could be because he's not doing anything right now, but yeah. I don't know if there's any real hope for Cassadine kids. I hate when Sonny uses his kids in that manner. Avery can get to see her mom even if he can't stand her. Yeah, it's again, it's not about Avery. It's just he don't like Ava. Ava's not doing things the way he wants it done. And then Ava is a monster herself. They're both monsters. Both of them. They're both monsters. Um, Christina practically begged to carry their child and went back on her promise to them. For that, I've lost all respect for Christina. We don't even see Avery that they made the custody battle all about Sonny as though he was on trial. Avery is Morgan's anyway. I'll die on that hill. How old do you think Avery is? I don't know. Because it's interesting because the same actress so far has portrayed her, but they could pop up with a what do they call sourced Avery at any point. I'm surprised they've kept this Avery for as long as they have. But then again, maybe not, because I believe Maxie Jones was played by the same child actor into teenagerhood. And then, of course, we saw Kimberly play Robin for the entire duration of the character. No recasts. They never recasted the role of Robin. I never even saw Robin have a stand-in the entire time she was on the soap. Okay. Sabrina was replying to Beverly. A lot of this problem is Molly. She kept TJ away from Christina. Good point. Christina and TJ, I think it was you're right. It was a very vital thing. And I might have mentioned this before someone else. It was a very vital thing that TJ should have established a working parenting relationship with Christina in order to build that relationship. So when she did decide to keep the baby, she would have taken TJ into consideration, because she saw how supportive he was of her, and through that support, she could see that he really loved the baby. So it could have, so it was important for him to establish that. But because he was so critical of her, even in moments where he had absolutely no business being, you had your grievances, but you still gave your sperm for this. So it was an obligation to him and that child to establish a relationship with the woman who was carrying your baby until this whole thing was thought through. Even still, she's your sister-in-law. She's gonna be the auntie, but biological mom. It was very imperative for him to have that relationship with her. I think Molly was under pressure, but she should have been like, you need to talk to Christina, you know how she is. You handle that. You the daddy. Okay, y'all the biological parents. And it's Molly's fault that Christina thought they were having problems, because Molly told her that. And it's sad because she should have been able to trust her sister, not to use that as an excuse to further her own private agenda. Let me see. Sorry. Oh, Aaron, did you hear what I said? I said I was sitting there trying to make it seem like Alexis isn't violent. Oh my goodness. Molly cheated on TJ under false information from Jordan. Ooh, I remember that. Alexis and Sonny do have favorites when it comes to the children. Do you think who is Sonny's favorite? Would you say Christina is? I actually, I feel like Sonny, he has a lot of kids, but I don't know. Who's Sonny's favorite? Who's Sonny's favorite? Let me see. That was a reply to somebody. Was Lucas flirting with TJ? I saw a lot of people wondering that. I wouldn't mind them interacting with each other because they're colleagues. It would help to make Lucas more grounded. Lucas has always been around. Of course, he has more history than TJ, but he's so in and out. And especially that whole story with him and Brad. I would like to see more GH hospital staff stories play out, especially with this mystery going about with Sam with this drug. First of all, I don't think Lucas knows. Or does Lucas know? I'm sorry. First of all, has Portia contacted the authorities that a murder happened at the hospital? Because this is murder, isn't it? Sam was murdered. I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted her sacrifice to be so noble. But Sam was murdered. Shouldn't the police be contacted? Shouldn't the family be contacted? I think it would be a lot better if Jason was investigating this story and Lucky was investigating the Charlotte Valentine story, because that's his sister, his mom's the mayor, interacting with the police commissioner. And Jason should be focused on this story because it involves his kids and bringing peace and justice for Sam. I think there needs to be somebody put it. It's not my. I saw it on Twitter, and I have to agree. There needs to be a switch, because I don't want stories that's going to further take Jason away from Danny. I don't, and I just switch it. Let's see. Uh, I don't, but yeah, I think that that it should be a hospital mystery about like pointing fingers at who could have done something like that, or who you should have been watching her. Some it should be more buzz through the hospital, like who sat there and gave her that medication that killed that patient? Was it one of our doctors? Did somebody sneak in? You know, there should be an investigation. People should be interviewing nurses in the hallways. I mean, like this should be a complete hospital story. And TJ being involved in it with his colleagues, like, you know, speculation, all that other stuff, that should happen. I wanted to go a little bit deeper about TJ. How do you all feel about TJ? Because I think it's a mixed bag when it comes to him, but TJ isn't a hated character. I think that he needs to be reconstructed, or just, again, like I said with Molly, just more what other sides are there to TJ? I think that he needs to be put in a position where the audience is rooting for him and his success. He's really been a castaway when it comes to the baby aspect. He's been given perspective, but it hasn't landed well with the audience from what I've seen. Like a lot of people still kind of roll their eyes, feeling like TJ is selfish, he's annoying. Like, I mean, really, dude. But then there's people who's like, he's really hasn't been like, he's kind of been shafted in all of this. So I think that there's potential there because he's not hated. Him and Molly respectfully separated, and he's an upstanding citizen in town. He can be given he can be made to be useful. But if you're not going to invest in him, then put him in the character closet. But he can be a man. It's just, are you all going to, like, how are y'all gonna write this? Um, I don't like Ava, but I truly hope she gets full custody of Avery. Sonny is the worst parent in daytime. You would think that after all this time, he would have finally stopped trying to keep that child from her, because it hasn't worked yet. It hasn't. Um, Let me see. Hey, sorry, hold on. Okay, I got back. Rafe legit was her only friend, and now Dex. That was a long time ago with Rafe. Oh my gosh, when they had vampires running around in Port Charles again. Oh, oh my Lord. Hey, girly. Yes, I really hope that original circuit is found with the baby. I think that would be so interesting. It would be. Stop trying to have to be arrested in this town. We see how it went to hell when he was kidnapped by Nina. He's the glue, whether people like it or not. Oh, Sonny. Oh, stop trying to have Sonny be arrested. And that's something else I wanted to like run past you all. So I noticed in the generation of General Hospital that I started watching, the character that the leading character out of everyone would have to have been Tony Geary. He would, along with Jeannie Francis, of course, because they did try to just when Jeannie left, you know, they wanted their Luke and Laura back because Luke and Laura were ratings. They were it. But I believe Jeannie wasn't ready to come back, so they brought Tony Geary in as Bill Eckert. Bill Eckert did not land well, and I think even Gloria Monty got fired after coming back for Bill Eckert. So they had to bring both Luke and Laura back, and then we got Lucky and the whole Luke and Laura of the 90s. But then Laura ended up leaving. Jeannie left the show again, but Luke maintained his popularity at that point, even without Jeannie. So, and to the point that His face was on the end title screen by himself for like the duration of his run. He would always have a moment where he stood out from all of the cast. Now in this generation, Sonny is that character that you will see his face in every General Hospital promo that's being pushed. Sonny is the show. When Sonny's time has passed, there was always a clear favorite after Luke's departure. I mean, Luke and Sonny were here. Who is here with Sonny? Would you consider Jason to be that? But I just mean who's the next generation? That's all I'm saying. I'm no one saying there are plenty of people saying get rid of Sonny. But if you're not going to get rid of him, then where's the balance? Who are you developing to be that face that overtakes Sonny's when he decides that, or for whatever reason, that he's not the focal point anymore? That's all. And I don't want it to be another Corinthos. Michael, absolutely not, because he failed when he decided to throw back in with Sonny after knowing Sonny killed AJ. So who is it going to be? You said Somali is so not going for Rick right now. She isn't. Let me sit back because my back. I like that Laura was reunited with her daughter Lulu Spencer. Okay, let's move off of that because I know I've been talking about Christina for a very long time. I'm glad Ava was found not guilty. Rick, please follow through and help her get her daughter back, please, please. But we can move off of that. Christina is trash, and the real question is, what is she going to do next? Because she already took one of Sonny's guns. She was going to go kill Kate's. Now we gotta watch, because to me she looks like she's capable of having a mental breakdown. But let's move on to Lulu. Now, no, first of all, can we start with Cyrus Renault? You get favorite line of the week, or I don't know, the character who spoke the truth of the week. Like, you get the you get the bra freaking O. I wish I had a soundbite of Johnny saying that, bra freaking O. Because he spoke absolute facts in that moment when Lucky tried to check him, and he was like, spend more time with your son, then come see about me. Thank you, Cyrus, because I was like, you know what, sir? Yeah. So last week, Lulu was going through town. I know I didn't do a live stream last week because it was a short week, but we saw Lulu get up. She got a ride from Cody. A lot of people were saying, what? Like, Cody doesn't recognize Lulu? He saw her, like he hasn't seen any pictures of Lulu around the corner main house. Wasn't he directly in the room with Lulu and Dante? However, some folks have said that she could have looked different laying in that bed instead of being up and vibrant and moving around. So I'll let that slide. I'll let that pass. But Cody gave her a ride. It was cool. I want immediately everyone's like, oh, are we chem testing or something like that? It'll be interesting to see how that develops, since things have changed between Cody, Dante, and Brooklyn. Apparently, we'll get to that. But it was good. I liked those scenes. I enjoyed Lulu just being Lulu. It felt natural. I didn't feel like it was missing a beat. Didn't feel like we needed to scream for another recast. It just feels right. And it was great scenes done. I look forward to seeing more Lulu and Cody, and Cody realizing that Lulu was in the car. Hopefully this will give Cody some kind of purpose, because we're all still wondering why they dropped such a bomb on Cody and Sasha to break them up. Let's see if the reason was to make Cody and Lulu a couple, or a triangle between Lulu and Dante. We'll just have to see. It seems like they're trying to create a triangle between Lulu, Dante, and Brooklyn. Maybe. Wait, no. What am I saying? Lulu, no, I'm sorry. Not a triangle there. I'm sorry. Cody is not interested in Lulu. That's not what I meant. But there's speculation that they're rewriting history to make it to where Brooklyn had a child as a teenager with Dante, and that child is the violin playing or non playing enough kid named Geo, who we're still trying to figure out why is he here. And with I know that, and I'm not really sure, I was thinking about it today, but when Carly was written into the show as being Bobby's child given up for adoption, was that, did Carly make her entrance into Port Charles? Like, was Sarah Joy Brown brought onto the show specifically for that, or was she on the show for a while and she wasn't really, they didn't know what to do with her, so they were like, oh, we'll make her Bobby's daughter? But was Carly's entrance into town clearly made clear that it was about her being Bobby's daughter? The reason I say that is because, especially within the last year, it seems as though they're trying, or no, I'm sorry, since Cody, it's like they're trying to make him relevant, so they made him a Scorpio. They didn't have to do that with Sasha because Sasha had relevancy on her own. She's been, that didn't need to happen. So for what other reason could it have happened? And now with Geo, if it's true what the speculation is out there, it seems as though they're just trying to make him relevant, and I'm not sure why they need to go this route for relevancy, especially since Brooklyn and Chase are trying to have a child of their own. Why would we need this to happen? I really hope that I'm just I hope this isn't real. I just don't understand why they needed to rewrite Brooklyn knowing them, because somebody pulled out a clip of Brooklyn meeting Cody for the first time. Let me get to the comments, and we could keep talking about Lulu and Laura because there's so much to unpack there with Lulu's return. Carly works, Geo doesn't. Okay. Yes, Carly was brought on to be Bobby's daughter. GH is getting crazy. No, she was brought in to be Bobby's daughter. That storyline was more developed than the bait and switches that's going on lately. Okay. Was introduced. She was on the show for a while with no storyline. I don't understand when BLQ possibly gotten pregnant, she didn't raise the baby and nor acted like she has a child before. That's another good point. I don't care who Geo's parents are. I feel that way about Cody. Maybe Cody has grown on to some of you. I like Cody's friendship with Tracy. I like his interactions with James. I just feel like they've been trying to make fetch happen with Cody, and it's not working for me. Let me see. And then Cody, if it's my understanding, he and Britt had something going on, but I can't remember that fully. I think I remember he fell down on her in a pool or something. I don't know. But I do miss Britt kind of. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. They already had a triangle with Sam, Dante, and Lulu. They didn't have to kill her off. They were definitely testing Lulu and Cody. The Brooklyn angle was a red herring. Okay. There's way other characters that has been messed with than Spencer. He just grew up. That's it. It was supposed to be Michael, but since Chad is leaving, then I don't know. For Cakes, give it 5 years and let it be Danny. I think they you're right, Angela, but they botched Michael. Even if he wasn't leaving, for me, it's too late. And the only reason why I say that is he's been on the show for 14 years. 14 years. That's a lot to put in the show. It did not take Sonny Corinthos 10 years, 5 years to be the phenomenon he is today. So after, I feel as, you can blame Frank or whomever, but after 14 years, he put in 14 years. It should have been happened by now. I thought it was understandable Cody didn't immediately recognize Lulu. Let me see. 4 years post-coma, 3 days post-surgery, and sis was up hitchhiking with all her mental faculties well in place. Right. Talking about, I don't want to go to the hospital. Cyrus should have had a restraining order against him a long time ago. Sue Turning Woods. If y'all don't sue Turning Woods, That's a case I want to see in court. I wouldn't even say he's the most messed with character. He's just Spencer. They seem to be trying to put more dollars to reestablish younger characters to try to keep the show going now that they need to write and give the characters depth. Lulu just got here and I'm all ready for her to go back. Oh, really? You're not liking who how do you all feel about Lulu's return? We're still gonna talk about that. I'm just trying to catch up in the comments, but how do we feel about Lulu's return? The show always needs a face for the show. They write too much around Sunny. Luke walked off in the last great promo they had. The big three are Sunny, Jason, and Carly. Yeah, absolutely. They are the big three, and they're getting older. So, who right now on the show do you see even reaching any level of what they have? Because Carly and Jason and Sunny, I mean, what they have is strong. They've done quite a bit on this show, and ruthlessly so. And we don't need that particular version, but it'll be interesting to see what places can get developed that have been underdeveloped in order to maintain Sunny, Carly, and Jason. Because a lot of good stories have been sacrificed in order to keep them out of jail, in order to keep them relevant. The PCPD is incompetent, and they have to be in order for Sunny and Jason to be who they are. So it would be interesting to see what the show will be if they make it without the big three. I think they're considering it now. That's why I think they've been cutting so many long timers as well. Yeah, I think they will have to develop a new leading generation. I wouldn't even say that he's the okay. Let me see. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Jeannie left. Yeah. TJ. Ever since the surrogate storyline has been written as a mad black angry, despite the fact that he was not in on screen most of this storyline. Yeah, they gave TJ bad perspective here. They did. Let me see. He just needs to get away from the Davis women. Lucy Coe going crazy with Poor Charles flashback. Did you all hear the actress who plays Lucy Coe, Miss Herring? I'm so sorry. Her first name I'm gonna miss say it, but Miss Herring lost her husband. They say that they were together, I believe, for 40 years or more. My condolences. I can't even imagine. They have 2 sons, I believe I heard. So my condolences on that. I just wanted to write to make a 3-dimensional character out of TJ. Was Spencer Cassidy the most hated character or just the most ignored character? I would say neither, because he got more attention. I feel like they used Trina as a third wheel for a minute. No, the 5th wheel, because it was Cameron and Jocelyn and what is that girl's name? That crazy chick. I can't even remember her name. And then him, and then Trina. Maybe they're saving the Sam murder mystery until February for the sweeps. It's just really eye-raising that that the family has been notified that Sam was murdered. The police haven't even been notified. They have not said it was a murder yet. Oh, so okay, so it could be ruled as an accident. I wonder how this investigation is gonna go. Portia just told Liz they aren't that far yet. Okay. Soap time is so different, because it could just be what, a day since, or not even. Michael is definitely Sunny's favorite. Sabrina and I disagree way more than we used to. Whose soap knowledge is elite? Chrissy and Michael are Sunny's favorites. Jax raised Morgan. Sunny raised Joss. Which is interesting, because Joss doesn't like Sunny, does she? Nope. Eric, did you hear delusional Christina tell Natalia that she and Blaze was going to raise the baby? That part. All right, let's catch back up here. You didn't like Emmy. Her husband died. Yes, yeah. Esme, thank you. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. The mom. Okay. So let's get back to Laura. Okay, I'm caught up in the comments. There we go. Dante's a cop and Sam, his woman. He should want to find out what happened to her. Dante had quite a week, so I'm gonna be patient with him. I'm sure he does. I think there was even a moment where he sat at a table and he had two beers out, probably one, of course, for Sam. So this is a lot going on within a matter of days, even though it's taking weeks for us to see it. So of course, she goes to Maxie's house. Lulu goes to Maxie's house. Is it really? Is it? I guess maybe it's realistic in this town that the spare key would still be in the same place after 4 years. Okay, I'll let that go. And but it was cute for her to go in there and just be like, "What?" And then James is like, "Stranger danger." I liked that. I like his strong personality. Maxie is doing a great job with that young boy. Nathan would be proud. Nathan would be proud. Dante is grieving, and his comatose ex-wife hitchhiked. He's earned a break for at least a week. Um, at the end of the day, was Christina's actual biology, regardless of what she promised, which is why it's illegal to use your own egg. Wait a second. You mean the soap opera did something illegal? I didn't know that. Yeah, Christina had every right to change her mind. She had every right to change her mind. Um, let me see. They need the writers from the 90s. Let me see. Dante is feeling a lot of things right now. I love James. He's the only thing that lights up the show these days. Spencer was going to enrich his life before he was unalived. So that was really good scenes. Lulu hightailed it out of there before, of course, the ladies could see. Also, during that week and that segment, Sasha found out that she's pregnant, which we saw coming a mile away. The only person we don't know is if Brooklyn and Chase are going to get pregnant soon. Some folks have said Molly should turn up pregnant, or like you have said in the comments, that the surrogate should come back with her and TJ's baby. Also, we have who else who might be pregnant? Willow. Willow might be another one who might be pregnant. It'll be interesting to see how Sasha's pregnancy plays out on screen, especially since Michael will not be recasted. So what will happen to Michael? Will Michael just up and leave town and leave his kids behind? I don't think so, unless he has a complete character shift. So will Michael be unalived and presumed dead until he decides to make a return in the future? Kidnapped, perhaps? Who knows? What do you all speculate will happen with Michael's exit? Will he get in Drew's way and Drew will do something? It'll be very interesting to see Carly and Jason handle Michael not being around. Good Lord. And then if something happens to Michael, Christina's going to make it all about her and we're going to have to suffer. Oh, that girl going to make us suffer, ain't she? Oh, she made me suffer with Sam's death. She going to be talking about, oh God, why'd you do it to me? I can't do it. I can see Michael leaving for some business opportunity and taking the kids with him. Michael can leave and take both Willow and Sasha with him. Sasha and Willow can take Drew and Cody along for the ride. Make it a team departure. That could work for me. That's why they don't do that in real life. They call it surrogacy on the show, but it seemed more like it fell under adoption terms, in my opinion. They really should have just went with adoption. But then again, they could have suffered the same heartbreak because the biological mom that they would have been adopting from could have changed her mind too. So either way, it just didn't seem like this was something that TJ and Molly was supposed to do together. Michael could go run ELQ Guam. What? Sonny is going to put a hit on Ava and Rick. I hope he's not successful, at least as far as Rick's concerned. I still say Rick and Lulu are some of the best returns this year. Now back to Lulu. Maxie did not believe him. Spinelli came home. They never called Mac. And then finally, James ID'd the picture. Maxie was able to confirm, and she let James have all the cookies he wanted, which is great. Eventually, Dante came over, but before we get there, Lulu made it to the Quartermaines, who she ran into Gio, and she echoed a sentiment that we all have. Who are you? Are you a member of the family? And he said, that's kind of complicated. No, it's not. You're not a Quartermaine. Or are you? So, anyhow, Lulu was like, I've had enough strangers for one night. She goes up to the main house and she sees Rocco. Beautiful moment. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking moment. Because, Danny eventually comes to see this reunion. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Played that very well. Dante's quiet shock, relief, but probably an ache. You're here, but Sam isn't. I'm so glad you're back, but Sam, I want her back too. Like that has to be so. And he couldn't even come to tell, be the one to tell her that. And I respect it. That just wasn't the time and the place. And also, I didn't want Danny to overhear that. I'm glad Scout didn't yet. I wonder if Lulu will be frequently at the Quartermaines because of Rocco and Dante. And how those conversations might go if she talks to the kids. Let's see. Yes, correct. It wasn't a bright decision or storyline. TJ deserves someone that wants to legally marry and have kids. Dirty Dog Drew needs to take his sister wives Willow and Nasty Nina and go off to Washington. That story has been quiet within the last 2 weeks, probably because of the holiday, and there's been a heavy focus on the Christina and Lulu stuff. So we need to get back to that Nina, Willow, and resolution. And I'm sure we will, because they have to wrap this story up in some way because of Michael's departure. Lulu lived at the Q. She did. He probably feels guilt. Dante, I bet he does. I'm so glad that Lulu Spencer has returned. Good. And Angel, he said that during their dinner date in Paris. Lulu, okay. I think this is the best Lulu so far, but I'm unmoved and completely bored. I keep itching to fast forward through all of Lulu's storylines. Storyline. I think it was well played. I like her reunion with Lucky. What I will say that I like about Lulu, this whatever is version, she does have that chemistry with the right people. When she was in those scenes with Lucky, it felt like they were legit siblings, and it's the most likable that Lucky has been since he's returned, is when he's not thinking about himself. And he should really be the one helping to find his niece. It's his niece. He should be hunting down the Cassadines. That's in Luke's blood. It's a Spencer thing. Go find it. Go sniff out a Cassadine. Okay, I don't need you at the hospital bringing Elizabeth down. Good Lord. I'm surprised Elizabeth hasn't said anything to Jason. I guess they just haven't had a moment to catch up. But they seem like brother and sister. And I did, especially when she was receiving the news that Luke had died while she was out for 4 years, and all the news that she received. And him being the one to tell her about Sam and Dante. I mean, he was spilling all the tea, even though he ain't been in town for longer than a toothpick. TJ should meet a new person like they brought on Isaiah and Kai. Yes, and Jordan has a date, don't she? Yes, honey, get it. Curtis don't deserve you. Don't y'all ever try to backtrack her to Curtis's dusty butt. He got Portia and he deserves it. He earned every bit of Portia. Y'all let him sit in that corner and be the stooge that he is. Yes, honey, move on with Isaiah. And I don't want to see no triangle between Isaiah and Molly and Jordan. Jordan needs a man that's completely hers. Honey, we ain't sharing around these parts. I don't want to see it. No. Okay, I actually like Jordan right now. Okay, like she's been a tenacious kind of put to the side character, okay? And it has the potential for greatness, okay? So just let this woman be great. I'm so glad they didn't put her with that filthy Drew and have her tied up in that foolishness. She's too good for it, okay? But she got a date. Crazy. Nobody told Lulu that Bobby died. I wonder if she's. I wonder if it'll happen when she goes to Kelly's and she's like, "Why is Kelly's name Bobby's?" That'll be a good way for her to. Maybe they're saving that for Lulu and Carly because Lulu and Carly hasn't had a reunion yet. So maybe that'll be Lulu and Carly's conversation. Maybe. Uh, Also, I want to see where's Tracy. Where's Tracy? Where's Tracy? I need my Jane Elliott fix, please. Where's Tracy? That's another anticipated return I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing, Tracy and Lulu, Lulu and Maxie. Of course, I didn't realize Maxie giving her pedicures. Now that's a friend for you. Maxie was also supportive of Dante. It has to be weird territory because you're happy to have your best friend back, but another one of your best friends died to make it possible. So that's just interesting. And then Lulu and Carly. A lot of people feel like Carly is being inserted into a lot of things right now. Carly's been busy. She did tell Drew, she did tell like it is between Drew and Jason. Jason was doing the right thing. It's Drew with his knickers in a bunch. Because his brother punched him up. Just say you don't like him. Spencer, you don't like Spencer. Jordan deserves that date. Good Lord. Gorgeous. I wanted Jordan and Drew before Willow drama started. It seemed like they could have, but when he started messing with Nina, I said, please, no, just get her out that mess. He didn't even seem like he appreciated the presence of her divineness. So no, Isaiah, everything just seems so sad. About the show, Lolo and Kylie, crazy, Tracy. I like Jordan and Isaiah, but Curtis is sniffing around her on pretense of needing her help. Curtis, go tell Portia your problems. Yes, because it's about what's going on with Drew and how he's promised Michael that he will be the CEO of that company or whatever he's doing, and what Curtis is to do about it. I say, don't you bring it to Jordan. Keep that mess between you and Michael. Don't even bring it to Portia. Portia's just too. Don't you bring it to Portia. Be a man and handle it like a man. This is your moment to shine, Curtis. Act like you a bit. Prove. I need you to be a shark. Prove to us that you should be the CEO. I mean, Michael's on his way out of here anyway. So why don't you prove to us that you are cutthroat enough to be the CEO? Huh? Betray, play both Michael and Drew for fools. Because if you can't do that, then you don't deserve the position. And I'm just going to say it like that. Nothing needs to be handed to you. He just saw Nina at Sam's funeral. We haven't seen Nina in a while. Yeah, Nina was at the funeral. I can't wait for Maxie, Jones, and Lulu to reunite. Jordan is too young to be Chide's mother. They have a few-year age difference. Molly probably sleep with Jordan new man and get pregnant. Ugh, a lot of people have said that. I don't want to see Brad with Lucas again. Neither do I. I would like to see Selena Wu, Let me see. Curtis playing Drew and Michael might be good drama. Might. Drew double-crossing Curtis is crazy. The writers don't like Drew or can write for him. Hey, Val. I think the writers are making the character of Drew match Cameron's acting atrocious. Yeah, he is that, isn't he? But okay, let's continue on with Lulu. I loved Laura's reaction when she found out Lulu was up and walking around, also leaning on Cyrus. But in my opinion, I don't believe she's doing enough as far as Cyrus is concerned, in my honest opinion. I don't. I really don't. A lot of people were saying that Laura doesn't like Nicholas because if she did, Nicholas wouldn't be behind bars. of all the things, they said that she put her energy into getting Heather's freedom, but not Nicholas's. That was an interesting take. Felix and Lucas should have gotten together. They should have. They he's still gone somewhere. Nina being at Sam's funeral is wild considering how Sam was Nina's first enemy. Yeah, it is. Nina was clearly Drew's plus one, and I don't know why she's so supportive of Drew. I guess because she feels like Drew helped to reunite her and Willow. Hmm. I wanted Felix and Brad back in the day, and I am still mad they put him with Lucas. I mean, that's not a lie. Um, Let me see. So further on, she knows that Nicholas had another child. She knows that Spencer is gone. It was beautiful scenes. Like I said, I like the chemistry that she's having so far with everyone. I think now with these returns, we have to be careful because sometimes it's like a mirage where it seems good at first, we're running off of the adrenaline of we want to see the first time, Tracy, all that, the reunion tour, we're running off of the reunion tour. Then your reunion tour runs out of fumes, and then what do we have left? A big bag of nothing. So we'll see in the months to come if this Lulu return is legit and they really have a story for her, or if she's going to go back to being that annoying news reporter for the Invader. Y'all remember that? Her little journalistic ambitions. I think that's when folks started catching attitudes with Lulu because of her investigative reporting and how she was being used as a pawn by Peter August. What happened to Felix? He faded into obscurity. Doesn't Nina have some toxic affection towards Drew? Yeah. Alexia Haven is already doing great as Lulu. I was on board immediately, and that's not easy to do. Yes, that's not easy to do because Kate Mancy is sinking over here. She really is. A lot of, even in the comments before you got in here, Val, a lot of folks were saying that it's both the writing for the character and it's Christina. I was saying that I think Mancy has a shot because she does have chops, but the direction of Christina and just her lack of empathy for anyone but herself is what's killing the character. But all of it's true, all of it. Who's better, Sprina, Trio, or Ty? I think it's too soon to tell, and I wasn't a big Sprina fan. I'm not. I wasn't. I wasn't. I didn't like how he treated her for Esme. I didn't. I will never forget they were out there on the terrace. He was getting ready to kiss her and didn't tell her that he had an Esme off in the wings somewhere. And as soon as Esme showed up, he didn't tell Esme, "Oh, you can park it over there because Trina's who I want to be with." He went with slimy Esme, and Trina had to suffer a lot behind that. She almost went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I have not been a Sprina fan ever. I don't understand the appeal, but they are beloved by people. It's a thing. Why did Cyrus want Lulu in South Carolina? I don't know. Molly and Christine were both essentially background characters for years, and they can go back to the background. The show has always written Christina to be pretty selfish and unlikable. It's hard to turn that around once the audience is firmly against the character. It also reminds me too. I know I had brought up Cody and them making him Mac's son to try to make the character relevant. They did that very same thing with Peter August. That happened in recent years where it was such outrage that they had to write it back. They had to rewrite back the rewrite because we wasn't having it. There's no way Anna Devane slept with Faison. What? What? We don't want Peter. That's why you had to kill him. Good Lord. Trifling. I did still like them, but I felt like Spencer didn't grovel enough or really earn her trust. I just feel like I definitely feel like Spencer and Trina's relationship wasn't enough about Trina. It was trending upward. It was because he left to be with Trina. I'll give him that. He left to be with Trina, and Esme brought the drama across the ocean into their faces. So there was potential, but because the actor had a better opportunity outside of the show, we won't really get to see that play out unless they recast him, because I don't believe he's going to come back. Because let's be honest, I was having this conversation with someone. Apparently, I think Steve Burton and Bradford Anderson were having this conversation about how a lot of people, we don't know this, but a lot of actors that come in, they find it difficult to be a soap actor because there's so much dialogue, and because of how they film their shows, that they can't handle it. They'll have 60 pages of dialogue that they'll have to memorize and get down packed for, to do this in their tight scheduling. And there's a lot of actors who can't handle that pressure, and that they're itching to get out of soaps. Not only that, soaps is not the strongest, but a lot of people are excited for a new soap coming out on CBS called Beyond the Gates. So that we'll see how that does. Esme was cute and evil. At least the actor's nowhere near as bad as the guy who played Peter. You're right. Sabrina makes sense as a favorite soap couple. I mean, Luke groped Laura and they were a super couple. I ain't got nothing to say on that. They will recast Spencer. Gio was supposed to be the Spencer recast because Nick was going to come back for a stint. Really? I do feel like Cody is the most likable and engaging when he's with Mac and the family. I wasn't really even torn up about him and Sasha splitting. The chemistry was mediocre. That's probably why the writers never gave them a love scene. It was just like, they're more like cousins. Let's make them cousins. I believe the writers truly want Esme to be the breakout star of the show and the next Carly, and it didn't happen. The fans loved Trina. And let me say this. I was thinking about Trina, and I have to say, I remember, and I've said this many times, the recast, it is growing on me. And I'll say why. For one, I like that the show hasn't given up on Trina and pushed her off to the side. And when you look at her, I enjoy her style. Before, when she first started at the gallery, she really gave off, high school, like, jeans and a sweater. Now she walking around like she has CEO potential, and she knows it. She was wearing this beautiful color at the gallery the other day. I think it was like a hot pink or something like that. I was like, okay, So, bra freaking o. She's definitely earning her reputation in the role of Trina. So bravo, bra freaking o. Will Tabiana Lee stay on a GH? We will see. Are they trying to do a Gio-Kai triangle? Because I don't hate that, especially for this black girl. Yes. Yes. And I like it because, do y'all remember that we were kind of giving the show the side eye because it was like everyone was fawning over Jocelyn. There was potential for a Cameron and Trina. I remember I did like the chemistry between Cameron and Trina, but Cameron was for Jocelyn and Oscar was for Jocelyn. And of course, Trina was the fourth wheel. And then it was the fifth wheel. So yeah, we love this for our queen, Trina. Yeah, they are on the Gio-Kai triangle. I think so. They seem to have tested Gio with both Joss and Trina. I think he tested best. They screwed over Keisha Ward in the 90s. Oh, can we just talk about that for a second? And then we'll get back. Can we just talk about that for a second? Why did they do that? Why did they give up on the Wards? Was it because the actress who played Mary May died? What happened? Why did they give up on the Wards? Do we know? Because I don't know. They would destroy Tabby on a line if they did a trio. Oh, you think so? Oh, online. Oh, do you think because of race backlash? Is that what you're thinking? But and Justice went downhill after 2 terrible recasts from the original. Yes, I love Keisha and Jason. And it's yes, GH can't write for black characters. What's interesting about Keisha and Jason is that the writers never gave them a chance again. They were done. On the one hand, I could understand because that chapter of Jason's life was over. Breakups happened and it was over. However, they could have had like some potential to be a super couple, like against all odds. He forgot all about me. He has a completely different personality, but somehow we came together anyway. They could have written Keisha and Jason so beautifully, but then on the flip side, we wouldn't have had Jason and Robin. So do we hate that? Like what? Like how do we feel? Because I love Jason and Robin. I do. But Jason and Keisha could have just been, it could have been just as powerful, you know what I mean? They completely gave up on it. And they completely gave up on Keisha and relegated her to AJ. And they gave up on AJ. If they would have put in some real work into AJ, instead of, it could have been better. But really AJ was always second best, always. So that just, in the eyes of a fan personally, that just was, Keisha was settling by being with AJ because she couldn't have Jason. So it was never, they never gave Keisha her equal after that. They never did. And I never vibe Jason and Robin because I wanted, you wanted Keisha with Jason. Can't stand Jason and Robin. She seemed too young at the time. Lulu knows that Dante and Sam were in a relationship. I love Dara Jensen. Terribly underused for a great. I don't like how they compromised the integrity of Dara. She was good, but her and Taggart, ooh, like, oh, but let me say something. It created awesome scenes at the PCPD back in the day. Dara Jensen, Taggart. Who was Taggart's partner? Who was Taggart's partner? It was not Mac. I know Mac was around, but he was on the show for a grip. Who was he? What was his name? He had like slick back hair. He sounded like he had like a deep Brooklyn accent, maybe, possibly. He definitely sounded like he was from New York. He even told Mac that Jason was out to lunch because he was train surfing. But him, Garcia, there we go, Garcia. So Dara, Taggart, Garcia, Justice. I remember it was the night that Nicholas got shot in a drive-by shooting that I believe was meant for Jason, and Jason saved Nicholas's life, but Garcia and Taggart brought him downtown for questioning, and of course they were awful to Jason. And then you have Justice bursting in, sitting there talking about, like, wait, like, I mean, Justice back then on Jason, he was like, he was cooking them up in the PCPD. And then Carly came in on the heels of that, and it was just, I mean, she was just wailing and wailing. And then Jason was like, I gotta get out of here. And he was like, oh, he was like, right now. He's like, oh, plan B. I'm calling the media. If y'all don't release my client right now, I'm calling the media. Oh, girl. Oh, that was a time back in 98. 1997 was a time, honey. You said, I love Robin, but I would take Jason and Keisha as a super couple any day if I could have had a vote. Dara and Alexis had great combative scenes. I bet. But they compromised Dara. And what did they compromise her on? Dara was compromised or blackmailed when Tony kidnapped Michael. Something happened behind the scenes. And then something else happened because didn't she help with something with Lorenzo Alcazar or Louise Alcazar? My memory's a little shit. I wasn't watching the show then, so I'm a little shaky. But yeah. Were wild times. Dara was blackmailed by Helena. Okay. Justice was, he not the young recast they had, and not even the recast they had after they got rid of what was his name? Joseph Phillips, I believe. But what? I think that was the most fun I had with Justice. Oh, as a character, I loved when he stood by Jason and let the Quartermains have it and left and was like, I'm gonna do my own thing and stuff, because he realized he was nothing but a puppet for them. The terrible Katrina. Who's Katrina? Oh, Cameron and Trina. They were okay. Darius slept with Taggart so he would burn the tape of Justice confessing to Damien's murder. Messy. I don't remember any of Darius' plot lines, but I did enjoy her hair. Dude from the Cosby Show. Right, right. But I just wanted to segue into that because they really did Keisha. They could have continued Keisha and Jason. It just would have been it would have been good because they really would have had to earn their way back to one another. Definitely would have, and they would have had to really fall in love, and it would have helped Keisha to grow because it was devastating to her, like about Jason, like she couldn't grapple with it, and unfortunately, much like with the Quartermains, Keisha pushed Jason away because she couldn't see past, and it never wavered though. Keisha, I think she might have had a moment where she kind of looked to Jason, like I think she had like she didn't have her curly hair anymore, but she kind of had like a short bob going on, and I think there was a moment where she gave Jason some kind of respect, but overall it died. You said they couldn't have continued, not with Jason being so volatile now. It would have, it probably would have compromised Keisha because of the criminal direction Jason took. Keisha Keisha could not, if you think about it, Keisha would have bailed just like Robin and all the other women did. They would have ended. You're right. Keisha would have had to have completely evolved into a different person to be with a Jason who works for Sonny Corinthos. I think Robin, it made sense for her to be able to deal with it for as long as she did because of her love for Sonny, and because of the way Robin was raised and how she had a stepfather who was a mob boss. I really liked Jason and Keisha before Jason's accident. Post accident, the chemistry was completely off. As a black teenage girl, that crushed me when they basically wrote Keisha out of a really good plot that was working. Yeah, I understand. Gia and Nicholas, they were good. Yes, okay. So I know. So Lulu knows about these things. Laura's trying to take her to the hospital. It'll be interesting to see how Lulu turns out. What's going to go on with Cyrus Renault if he's responsible for what happened with Sam. Um, I hope Elizabeth gets to take control of this investigation and not let Lucky take the reins. Lucky is a bot. Like, to me, Lucky to me is a bystander in all of this. This needs to be Liz. Liz needs to be in the driver's seat, and Lucky needs to be a passenger. Elizabeth has been on campus consistently since she began working on the show. She's been um, all of her characters, flaws, and everything. She's built up herself in her career to be head nurse. There's no reason why she shouldn't be fully in the driver's seat, even if it means she's the one going to investigators or ask, like, this is her arena. Sorry, this is her arena. Spoiler said someone dies by the end of the year, but who? Yeah, Duke. But I know I've been on this live stream for a really long time, and I'm starting to get phone calls. So I will definitely be back. Hopefully next week. Just keep these regulars because there's just too much that be happening. But thank you all so much for me joining me. I apologize for things that I didn't cover that was missed. But I will be back again next week. You all have a great week. Be safe. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.